All right. The other stream's about to be up and running here. Should both be synced up here in just a second. All right, we'll go over the market, go over today's plays. Those of you in the open house are considering it. Hopefully, those of you that are in it are enjoying it, and those of you that are considering, you can take a look at some of the plays from today and see if you would like to trade alongside us tomorrow. Okay, there is a link in the description, allows you to register for it and gives you free access. Okay, all right, let's get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for March 23rd, 2021. Q's down 0.44, SPY down 0.75. We came into today bullish on the SPY, but neutral on the Q's. We noted how the daily trends were changing a bit. In the morning here, it looked like we were getting more sector rotation as tech names were starting to get more demand and rotation out of some of the retail, energy, things like that. But by the afternoon, both did get the sell-off here to close kind of at the low of the day there. So it doesn't really change too much for us on the Qs, because the Qs, we already had this bit of time frame conflict here, had rallied up into this resistance here, and then the daily was kind of retesting this downtrend to see if it was going to hold or not. We are kind of waiting for that on the Qs to see what was going to happen there. And you can see actually on the hourly here, pretty sideways, above the 20 MA, below the 20 MA, above the 20 MA, pretty standard sideways price action, right? On the SPY, we had a very nice uptrend on the daily, but notice the hourly here is starting to lose it now, okay? So the hourly is starting to roll over. So it actually does simplify things for us going into tomorrow, okay? Neutral on the Qs and the SPY. Hourly now is in conflict with the daily, okay? So especially if we break underneath 387.15, we can start to look to be bearish on the SPY. Okay, and then on the Qs, it's going to be under 309.66. So we're not there yet. We're going to have to keep a close eye on the hourly tomorrow to see what we get, because we are going to be rolling over, it looks like, into some support. Of course, if we gap up or something and take out this here, then we'll be looking bullish. But same as today, really waiting to see what kind of follow through we get going into tomorrow. So neutral again going into tomorrow on the Qs. All right. Let's go over some of the plays from today here. If you traded with Sam this morning, had some nice trades on the SNDL, FREQ as well. Nice gap down there on the FREQ, bearish, couldn't get off the lows, closing at the lows there. For later in the morning, if you traded with me, was able to trade with you on this LIVX Live, the whole trade from the time that we got in. I said I was getting in. There's the entry, stop underneath this base. Nice tight 10-cent stop there. Okay. This we were looking at. I didn't think it was a good idea to add to it here, although there was some follow through to it. We got to target one there. I was saying we need new highs, target one. And then as we got to the bigger target there, approaching some larger time frame resistance, although don't need to be too precise because that resistance is so old. It was more that the volume came in on this. You can see that we got the volume, biggest volume there. One of the biggest bars, maybe the biggest 5-minute bar on here, right there. Right, so I didn't want to stick through this pullback because it was looking like it had topped out. Right, those of you that play climactics, you know you're very familiar with this type of look. Biggest bar, biggest volume at the top after the extension. So I said take the whole thing, whatever's left under 620. Okay, so that was pretty good. So if you were following along, if you were paying attention, I walked you through it. I told you when I'm getting in, I told you when I'm taking a piece of it, and then told you when I'm taking the rest of it. Okay, and then we were out. Someone asked, why not stick for more? Because I was looking for something closer to 650, and the reason is because the volume came in. Okay, and I already had a pretty nice move lately. Some of these lower price ones and transitions, you can see here on the weekly, trying to do the transition recently, curling up on the weekly there. Don't give all day moves. Okay, so that's kind of what we've seen lately. So that was the adjustment with the management. Very good question, because it is, if we rewind a couple months ago, I would definitely try to stick with this all day. Even on the hourly here, I guess, yeah, on the hourly, that's not a very nice trail either. It's just something that we've seen lately on these. So, you get a couple nice moves, and that's probably going to be it. Okay. So that was the LIVX. And then coming out of lunch, only gave you numbers on one thing. That was the IQ here. We have a gap bully. Okay, gap bully means a gap down. Broke some support, but then got bought right away and actually took out some resistance there, doing a buy setup on the daily. So here was today's gap bully. So that's how the move started. That's how this move here continued. And then we got the 15-minute pullback with a tight base there. Okay, so this one, pretty good. Took out the highs there. If you took the whole thing, that's fine because market was pretty weak, but actually had another move in it. Not a huge move, not much different than the initial target there, but not too bad on the IQ. So, not a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's only idea given in the afternoon. There were some scalps here and there throughout the day. Those of you that are maybe new to level 2 got to see quite a few of them, and then hopefully if you're familiar with them, got to follow along and make some money on them. But as far as just the chart trades go, same thing as yesterday. Same thing I anticipate will be the case until we get to the next earnings season in mid to late April, is focus on quality. Okay. If the daily's not good, but intraday is interesting, it's going to be a pass. If the interesting is good, but the daily is right at resistance or at a tough spot, it's going to be a pass. Some of these are going to work, of course, but for the most part, you're better off letting them go, right? And like I kind of stressed today, because I was getting a lot of symbols that I'm not really sure what people were looking at. We are looking for the outliers, the evidence that there is momentum, that the bar is going to be big today. Okay, and we can kind of tell that from the gap down, from the participation. So it's not just one of these little tiny bars, maybe market makers, some scalpers going back and forth. Something big is happening here. Ions should have probably been played here in the afternoon. Didn't really like how spready this Ions is, but I mean, have we not seen this setup over and over again? RLX yesterday, right on the 5-minute there. Basing at the lows, can't get off the lows. Base breakdown there. Even the FREQ today, right? Basing at the lows and then breaking down. Okay, basing at the lows, breaking down. Just more of the same. I went over the SY as well yesterday. That one just breakdown after breakdown. Can't get off the lows there. So we're seeing that play. It worked pretty well. So it was nice to kind of get some longs going here today as well. But we'll see if that's the play that continues to keep on giving, especially if the market wants to go back and turn back into a daily downtrend. I anticipate that we will. Okay. All right. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.